It's Monday, and we have another one of our insights and update trainings for pool funding. And I'm so glad to be with each of you that have joined with us today. So today, we're going to kind of open it up to you. I want to kind of, instead of me being Mr. Professor and lecture for a bit, I thought maybe we kind of open this up to more Q&A today. And I realize that tomorrow is our opportunity meeting. I'm very curious what you guys have successfully used at getting people to attend that kind of a weekly meeting that we have for prospects. What has worked for you guys on that, to getting people to show up to the opportunity meeting on that we do every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you wouldn't mind sharing with me what works, and I'll listen, and we can play off that, and then from there, maybe a few other topics depending on what you guys want to talk about. Since we'll open it up to kind of a Q&A today. How's that sound, guys? Good deal. All right. Got a thumbs up from Paul Thompson. Paul Thompson comes to us from the UK, and it's really early in the morning for him. We appreciate you staying up for this, buddy. It's good to see you. All right. So, who would like to share? Maybe I can pick on a couple of leaders, maybe Steve and Lisa. I'll give you guys a shot. What works for you guys on inviting people to our Tuesday weekly opportunity meeting? What have you found as like a one-liner that draws people's attention? What's working for you?
You go, Lisa, or I'll go.
Go
You
ahead,
go
Steve.
right ahead.
Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. I just run into somebody, when you're out and about and give them a few tidbits about what the uh, the program's all about, and then I just ask them if they would be opposed to coming to a opportunity meeting on Tuesdays.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you use the whole "are you opposed" approach.
Yeah,
Yeah. So for some people it triggers them, well, no, I'm not opposed to that. But
yeah,
I guess that's so using that and you're just basically saying you have an opportunity to share. So you're not really giving too much more information than that.
no, just tell them that if they ask them if they need extra money for whatever,
Mhm.
and I just go from there and just tell them that you're going to get some information on Tuesdays, and you'll be able to talk right with the founder
Okay, good.
and
Okay,
ask
so
them anything you want.
that's great. And so basically you're promoting the idea you can meet with the founder of an opportunity and ask, and it's interactive, and you can hear about the opportunity and then ask questions afterwards. So that's basically what it is. So
Yeah,
that's a super direct, straightforward approach. Okay, and it's been effective for you. Have people showed up to the meeting using that?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
They
all right, good
works
deal.
good.
Excellent. Well done, Steve. All right, Lisa, did you want to share what what's worked for
My
you?
approach is a little different. I'll be talking to somebody and I'll be like, you're a sharp person. Do you happen to keep your options open to generating extra income outside of what you're doing in real estate? And they're like, well, yeah, and I'm like, great, because we have the founder doing a call tonight. Would you be open to attending to learn more about what we're doing? I think you'll really like it. It's going great. And yeah, and they get on.
Okay.
You just gotta show a little excitement.
I've always said that it doesn't matter so much what you say. What matters is how you feel, about what you're saying. And there's nothing more powerful than as far as like a emotional transmission than the transmission of excitement. Excitement is something about that particular emotional state that it is powerful. People touch other people that have it. It's like it's electrifying. And so to me, you're almost better off if you can kind of consistently stay in an excited state where you're just excited, right? And I know life has a way of beating us down, but sometimes we have to we have to be overcome that, right? Sometimes we just have to say we're better than the bumps in the road, right? And just be excited anyway. You know? So there you go. I like that. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to contribute to that? Or we can switch gears into any topic that's on your mind. So at this point, it is an open Q&A. We are recording this, so I'm happy to go any direction. I hope we have a lot of people come tomorrow to our opportunity meeting. All right. Is everybody being
Hello,
shy?
Ace.
Okay, there we go. Karen, thanks for breaking the ice. Go ahead.
Just wondering on the progress of the Done For You leads, how you're making out with the first group of people that purchased the leads and when you're going to get to the second group. Because I think
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, actually, you know, we're feeling pretty good about getting, like, we just had another one, Lisa, right? That so was that number 2, I think? I think that's number 2.
Well, Monica had one today and I had
Yes.
one later.
So there's
So-
three so far that have turned into signups. So we've had a number of calls and voicemails and all that goes on. But it's already generated 3 signups so far. So the fruit is just now coming out right now. And the programmer, he had an emergency with his father. So father went to the hospital. It interrupted what we were trying to do before the end of the weekend. Had not that been the case, you would have been able to go into your website and actually see, you know, your leads. So not all the leads have been assigned yet, but they'll start coming in, right? You know, yeah, we've actually purchased more leads from the vendor than you guys have purchased from us. So that means that you're going to get more than what you paid for as we process them. So we're in the thick of it, Karen, I guess is the simplest way of putting it. We're having positive progress in the sense that people are saying yes to us. I'm real excited about the one I just barely met. And she's got kind of a financial background, right, Lisa? From Ohio?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, she was involved in some pretty large things. I think she said she has a PhD in finance, right?
Yeah.
And she
Yeah, I was actually impressed with what she said. I wasn't expecting that.
she likes what we're doing with pool funding. She recognizes the need for it. She totally agrees with what I was saying, that the economics of things have got to move away from debt over to equity. She's like, absolutely. It's totally, it's personal at this point, it's affected her,
Yeah,
the way this
everything
world
you
is.
said resonated with her.
Yeah. I think her last position was with FedEx, right? That company, FedEx. Or no, Federal Express. Not FedEx. No, FedEx. It's the same thing, right? Why am I thinking it's two things? The delivery company. That was but she's kind of retired, but she wants to develop some other business ideas and she needs some funding for it. So she liked what we're doing. Made sense to her.
Yes, it did.
So there you go, Karen. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
So we're making progress there.
That's great. Great.
Yeah. And what do you guys think of Karen's video? Have you guys seen what Karen produced the other day?
Awesome.
Last night?
Very good. Love it.
Community
Good
loves
to
you,
hear.
Karen.
Thank
You guys, you have that Midas touch, Although I will say the music could be a little bit lower. I don't know if you can adjust the music on it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to adjust it again and
Yeah.
see how it goes. You're the second person that's mentioned that. So
Yeah, because we want to listen, but you know, I had to strain, not the whole thing. It was only like maybe 10 or 15% of it. The music was just overpowering your voice a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And yeah, the music does increase in volume
right, yeah,
during that one little session, and I'm not sure how to lower it during that area without lowering it entirely. So
yeah.
we'll play with it.
Okay, well, the thing is, by the time you play with it, the next video will come up, and you'll create a new one, and well, it'll be even better, right? So. Yeah, I also got some things I'm in the process of, I'm gonna take it from here and put it into the tool to create a video. I want to
All
really
right.
get people on board with the 24-hour challenge. Once the community is really centered on the 24-hour challenge, we'll see massive growth come from there. I see more people coming in. It's great, all those people joining us now. Hello. We're having a Q&A today. Today is Q&A. So feel free to unmute, ask a question, share a comment, whatever you'd like to do. We are recording this. We're open to feedback. We are responsive, and we care. So,
Hey,
yes, sir. Scott from Thailand. Go ahead.
yeah, hello. I just wondered why we're using USD to pay daily and not the actual coin. Surely if you're using a coin, then there's more circulation.
The problem
I don't
is
know.
that then you get the argument of, well, the coin fluctuates, and yeah, basically people will quickly be opposed to it because of the value going up and down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. So how does the USDT link with the coins then?
Well, what happens is USDT is the world's most popular currency, digital currency. Okay, it's even more popular than Bitcoin. What most people will do if they are going to take profits, for example, let's say they're in a large quantity of Bitcoin, but they feel the price is so high that they want to take profit, maybe sell off some of the Bitcoin that they have, they're going to sell it into USDT. Now, I'm just using
Yeah,
Bitcoin as an example, but multiply that scenario times 20 or 30, maybe 50,000 different coins. So what everybody's doing, they're moving in and out of the volatile coins that are going up and down into USDT, to hopefully, get out high, wait for the coin to reset back where it takes a dip, and get back in the coins that they're interested in right at that point. So you go back from USDT into their coin of choice, right? Whatever that might be. This is what crypto traders do. And so it's kind of the most natural course. And then our members don't have to say, they don't have to explain that, well, we're in a coin that goes up and down, and it's going to end up going up where we want it to go. And then the people say, well, yeah, when I got in, I paid this much money for it. By the time I was ready to do something, the price had dropped down to this, and now it's messed me up. So instead of all those arguments that would happen with the volatile coin price, having USDT as the main coin circulating eliminates all those arguments. Does that make sense?
yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
Now, I will tell you our aim, if you look at our vision video, the one that I put out there a while back to talk about the vision of where we're going, we want to develop our own stable coin. And that would be based on gold. And so the idea is that we would then accumulate gold, put it in a vault. I've got a place over here in Singapore. They actually would take crypto payments for actual tangible gold in their vault, and they can just assign gold that's already sitting in the vault, like, okay, this belongs to the pool over here. Okay, this chunk of gold is now owned by the pool and the coin, the pool coin, right? And then maybe put on their website that that so many troy ounces of gold is allocated for this particular stable coin, which would be our coin, right? And then we could then use that as the basis instead of using the dollar, because quite frankly, I think when it comes to purchasing power, we're going to be able to maintain greater purchasing power being in tangible gold than even in digital dollars. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, way things are going. We may be launching our own gold coin before you know it, guys. What do you guys think about that? About launching our own gold coin?
Yeah, good.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Nice.
there you go. Good question. It spurred on a lot of topics there. I love it. Thank you so much for your contribution, Scott.
Okay, thank you.
I can't tell. I think it was David had his hand up first. So Hunter, pardon me if you were the first, but we'll start with David and I'll come back to you, Hunter. David, go ahead.
Thank you. I was curious if you have a time frame or a plan as to, you said that USDT is the most popular coin. At some point in the future, the PFP will be more popular and probably PFI too, right? Or is that not part of the plan or whatever? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if we're going to be the most popular per se, because we're going to have 4 of them, right? So each pool is going to have their own coin, right? So we have 4
Right.
pools. Sorry, I feel like I got to sneeze. Anyway, so each one, we got PFI, we got PFB, right? We got 2 more coming with the $100 pool and the $1,000 pool opening up. But I could see our gold coin doing better than USDT. You know, if
Which is different than the 100 and the 1,000, right?
imagine having, you know, if you take a look at what Binance did, for example, they started out with just like a clone of Ethereum. That's how Binance began. They just cloned Ethereum and say, now we're going to call this BNB instead of ETH, right? We're going to make it faster. We're going to make it less expensive. And that's how Binance ended up taking over. They started with just a copy of something that was working, and they made it a little bit better by making it, I think, by making it cheaper, by making the gas cost lower. I think that's where they won. I think that's why they got so big so fast. And now they've gone into everything. So kind of the same thing will happen with what we're doing. I think we're going to see that we'll probably have our own private exchange where you could trade our 4 coins for the gold coin. You know what I'm saying? So probably end up going that direction, right? The 4 coins will be out on the open market, you know? And you know, yeah, I mean, it's a pathway that there's going to be a mastermind around it, you know, not just me alone, you know, but there's going to be people that will bring in who understand stable coins, gold coins, you know, even more so than what I do. Yeah, as an innovator, I don't have to be a know-it-all. There's plenty of other people that know stuff. We can bring them in. Does that make sense?
You're the modern day Ford, Mr.
Yeah.
Ford.
That's you nailed it. There it is. So I don't have to know everything. I just have to, you know, grow and you know, and use that you know, that you know, the revenues that come in from that growth to, you know, draw in the talent that I want around me, and then from there we launch these much bigger things that I want to do. I also want to be our own ISP and so many other things, but these are big visions. They're not small. But when your target is 1 billion membership, a membership of 1 billion people, when that's the target, okay, you have to think big, right? Because that's a big number. It's a lot of people. So, and
Yes, it is.
all we got to do is just learn how to breed success a little bit more than we've already done. We've done okay. we've got some good testimonial videos, but I think we could do better at breeding. I think that's one area that I want to put more attention on is how to breed. So anytime we see success in anything that we're doing, we need to capture that and put it in some kind of a container that can be moved around, a video or whatever, right? A poster, something that can be moved around quickly, and other people get exposed to it and learn about these successes that we're having in the community. Too often we have success, but it's not being highlighted. We want to see more highlights. I think that'll help us grow even faster.
I agree. Do you think that when the $100 pool is launched, that'll be more popular than even when the $1,000 pool launches, just because of entry level or whatever, and mid range, as people are typically mid range? We're not going to go the most expensive. We're not going to go the cheapest. Or do you have an idea?
I just don't think the world will take risk in the $100 pool. It's already beyond what the world would be willing to do. So they're going to take all their risks in the $1 and $10 pools. Well, their learning curve is going to happen there. I don't really see people that the first pool they join is the $100 pool. I don't think that'll ever be the case. Okay. I don't, yeah, there's a class of people, but they're such a small class. It's actually probably a smaller class than the 1%. You take 1% of the population, the millionaires and above.
But over time, like be it a few years or whatever, once they've migrated from the 1 to the 10 to the 100, do you think the $100 pool will probably be
I think you're looking at it from the perspective of migration when you should look at it as accumulation.
Oh, okay.
So picture this. I know we like round numbers, but wouldn't you be better off, David? David, I'm sorry. Every time I look at the way you spell it, I go to the tradition of David, but I know you like to be called David.
I don't know how to edit it for some reason. Like I must have another account because I tried to change the name before and it was the wrong account apparently. So I don't know.
It's okay. It's all right. Anyway, so yeah, what we were saying, the $100 pool.
Use really good.
What's that?
No, I was talking to something else.
It's Ernest breaking in.
We come into the $100 pool. That's the thing.
What's
That's
that?
what you're saying. People won't easily come into the $100 pool.
Yeah, that's not gonna be that won't be their starting point. Even if you're a millionaire, you're not going to start in the $100 pool, because that means $100 going out every day until you get your team together, and that could take a while, right? So just on logic, people are going to start. I think the most common place to start is going to be the $1 pool for 200 countries. It's going to be the $1 pool. For Western countries, I think they're going to be the ones starting in the $10 pool, and then also add the $1 pool. Well, I was going to talk about accumulation. So accumulation works like this. Imagine you don't have 4 people sending you $1,000 every day, David. You have 4 people sending you $1,111 every day, each one of them. See how the accumulation makes more sense, right? That was the point. I'm sorry. Was that a senior moment? Oh my God. I hope not. Anyway, we all forget
Notes
sometimes.
are a good thing.
Lose our track of time, lose our track of what we're trying to say. But yeah, $1,111 from each person is better than $1,000 from each person, right?
Yes.
And so I think it makes sense to be in every pool all the time. And that's what, the people that come in and they're here for about a year, by that time, they should be in every pool, as this thing matures.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Hunter, let's go back to you, buddy. What's up? What's on your mind? Thank you for hosting us today.
No problem. And I just want to give a quick little addendum to the conversation we were having with Scott, in that taking profits in USDT as opposed to fiat currency, like say the US dollar, also may or may not have some tax implications depending on your jurisdiction, because depending on the way your tax authority approaches Bitcoin and their cryptocurrencies, they might not see that as realized gains from investments yet. So those earnings wouldn't be taxed. I'm obviously not a finance guy or a tax guy, so of course take what I say with a rock of salt, but it's definitely something to keep in mind and something that a lot of cryptocurrency traders also keep in mind.
There you go. There you go. So making some valid points there, and the landscape of it all. There's the taxation. Have you guys ever seen my taxation video about taxes? Who's seen it? Who's seen my video about taxation? Let me show that to you guys. Share my screen. This is going to be an eye-opener for some of you, and I'm not going to play the video, but I'm just going to show you where it's at. Okay. Most people, they do not really bother doing any kind of math. They just live their life and just go along with everything. And it is what it is. And you just kind of whatever, you know. Not me, guys. I'm questioning everything.
Have you ever wondered
okay?
how Fortune 500
And so I don't just accept the cards that are dealt, you know. That's I want to play to win every time. And I'm looking for every angle to make that happen. And I believe in myself. And I use that as a starting point. And I think that's a good place for all of you to start, is believe in yourself. I heard a word today that I think I'm going to train myself to use this word from now on. You know how we say the word understand? Have you guys heard that word understand?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I got you.
Okay. You realize when you say that, you're saying under, right? Most people don't give it much thought. But this guy I was listening to today, he changed the word from understand to inner stand. In other words, he's going inward for the authority. And he's not placing himself below, right? Because when you say the word understand, you're basically saying, I submit to be beneath you. You know, every time you say understand, that's whether you realize it or not, that's what you're saying. Taxation is a wealth killer. The numbers don't lie. I won't play it, but maybe I can get a screenshot of it here. There we go. If I can make that a little
Anything
bigger.
the government's involved is a killer.
So you see right here, if you have a tax rate of 33%, so I'm obviously not talking about you guys in Canada. You guys got a much higher tax rate than that, right, guys, in Canada? But if you got an income tax rate of 33%, this is the impact over here. So if you take a dollar and you double it in a year, it turns into $2, right, guys? You take $2 and double it in a year, that's $4, right? That's 100% APR, right? Well, that's without taxation. So look at how wealth accumulates without any taxation on it at all, right? So there you go. Even a dollar can turn into something in 20 years by doubling it. Over $1 million in 20 years. Were you guys aware of that? That a dollar could turn into $1 million in 20 years if you could just double it? Were you aware of that? Someone played with me. Okay. All right.
I
Okay.
was not, but now I am.
I mean, impressive, right? But when you factor in
33% works
taxation,
out to be 50.
when you factor in taxation, you got to take 33%. Okay. You got to take that off the table. So that $1 there, you got to subtract 30, and you've accumulated $2, but then you got to take 33 cents away from it. And that leaves you with $1.67 for the next year, right? So even though you're doubling still, you're still doing an APR of 100%, but you're paying taxes on the gain. Whatever you gained, you're paying taxes on it, okay? So it's 33 cents the first year, 55 cents the second year. By the time you get down to the 20th year, it's $5,625 in taxes you're paying that year. But your wealth, the shocking part about this is that only $28,000 is what you have accumulated in 20 years of working hard, doubling money, but you paid your taxes on it. And you're left over with 28,000. Over here, you have 1,048,000, right? So if you had a choice, if you had a clear choice between, yes, I want to be taxed, or no, I don't want to be taxed. If it was an offer and a choice, which one would you choose?
No tax.
No tax, right? Most people have no idea how bad taxation is as a wealth killer. Can we agree on that statement? Most people don't know how bad a killer it is.
Yeah.
It's a total killer. And people just go along with it. They don't think about it, right? I mean, I look over here, they got the VAT, even the VAT, it's like it's 12%, right? You buy a cup of coffee and you got 12% on top of that. That's the VAT tax, right? But they say government needs money. But then again, let's just print money out of thin air. Why don't they just use the money they print out of thin air and stop taxing us? You ever thought about that? What would the world be like if the government didn't double dip us? Okay, create money out of thin air and charge taxes for us to pay it back, Just a thought. Am I a rebel for saying so?
No.
So is there a way that or that you've heard of that you could share that we could actually get that dollar to not be taxed so we can get $1 million in
Yeah.
20 years, a dollar doubling each year?
Absolutely. You can set up a trust. You can set up a foundation. That's what the wealthy people do. Wealthy people don't pay taxes. You could ask people like Donald Trump all about it if you want to, just saying, you can legally, lawfully not pay taxes, but you have to have your money over here instead of here. And right here, what is that? That's earned income. Okay. Earned income. Now, if you have a business, okay, you don't have to pay yourself a big amount of money. You know what I'm saying? You don't. You can say, well, I own this $1 billion company, but I'm only paying myself $100,000 a year, right? Couldn't I? I'm the owner of the company. Can I do that? Yeah, right? See how the rich think? The rich don't think, well, I'm a $1 billion company. I should be paying myself $100 million a year in income. You know why they don't do that? Because of taxes. But you know what they do instead? They issue loans. Oh, this $1 billion company, issued the owner of the company, a $10 million loan on the year 2023 or whatever, right? And in 2025, the company decided to forgive that loan. That's the kind of stuff that actually happens in the real world, but most people are not aware of it. Okay. There you go. So the people that are losing out here are the ones not paying attention, the ones that are not trying to figure out a way to get ahead. The people that just kind of go along because fear and doubt have them in a container of not going anywhere, right? In fact, it's a diminishing container. It's almost like you're being, you know, you're in a grinder, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to get out of the grinder and live free, but you have to open your mind to new ideas, and pool funding is one of those innovations, and I think it's going to catch on. All right, we've got David with his hand up again. Go ahead.
Yes, I was wondering, so would you have a recommendation of a better place, or, you know, based on what you know and or perhaps even what you do, as to where to set up a trust or set up a nonprofit that is best? I mean, I bank with Navy Federal and a few other banks or whatever, but is that a good option or no?
Well, I mean, if you go to South Dakota, they're known for the best laws when it comes to developing a trust, you know. So basically, you got more protection on a trust in the state of South Dakota than any other state, you know, for multiple reasons. So yeah, that's just, and you know, a trust is just one idea. And so, you know, when you're receiving something like, you know, $2, $3, $4, $10,000 for pool funding, not quite at the numbers where you're too concerned about protecting it. But when those numbers start turning into 30, 40, 50, $100,000, and you don't start thinking about protecting it, well, it's on you, because for you could set up a trust for something like $10,000 or $15,000 if you want one that's got all kinds of little moving parts in it. If you want a simple one, you could do one for maybe $2,000 to $5,000 for something very basic and simple, you know. And you know, it just depends on how much flexibility you want built in to what you're trying to do. You know, there are people that have what they call trust fund babies, you know, where the idea is that the money's being held in trust, you know, for generations to come, and they've been doing that for a long, long time for a good reason, you know. So the wealthy and the ultra wealthy have always protected themselves, while the people that have been more in the middle class and lower, they don't even give it a second thought. They're like, I can't afford to get into anything like that. You know, that's the mentality of people at that level. Oh, I can't. Well, pool funding is here as an elevator to lift you out of I can't into you can. What do you think, David?
I think it's great information. I'm definitely looking at doing it, not like now, but like you said, when it's at that point to where the money's coming in, maybe December of this year or sometime next year, I definitely want to do that. I'd rather have, you know, $1 million in 20 years than 28,000. I mean, I think 28,000 compared to 100,000 is terrible, but $1 million, that's just super terrible to get
That's
28,000 versus
shocking.
$1 million.
Yeah. Yep. Back in the day, I had licenses. I was a financial guy, you know, but then I got out of that. I'm not a fan of the conventional.
Me neither.
Yeah, it can work for the guy selling it to you. Okay, but maybe not so well for the person, you know, getting it. So, all right. Anybody else like to contribute to our Q&A today before we end the recording? So was it a good banter today? Was this a good idea to just open it up to any topic? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Q&A sessions, you know, a couple times a month or, you know, wherever you see fit. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, good deal. Well, I'd just like to see more of us bring people to the Tuesday opportunity meeting. Let's see if we can get 100 people there tomorrow, you know. Put the word out. You know, to me, my two go-tos would be, hey, you know, we have a way for you to get money that you don't have to pay back, you know, or we have a you know, we call it funding, there's a way to get funding. You don't have to pay back, and you can come listen to the guy who started the whole thing. It's kind of like crowdfunding, only better, you know. And or another go-to be like, hey, you know, how would you like to leverage your time and get paid way better? Or I have no problem saying overpaid. I think we should all be overpaid. If you ask me, everybody should be overpaid.
I mean, if athletes and
Yeah.
actors are overpaid, why shouldn't we? It would be nice for teachers to be overpaid, but as a teacher, no, but they can be still a teacher because that's what they might want to do, or be a first responder, but they could do this and be overpaid here, and then they can choose later on down the road. Do I really want to be a teacher or a first responder, or am I good now? I think I'll just do this. I love it.
Yeah, I think the world should be full of people that are being overpaid. That'd be a much funner world to live in, you know, where everybody seems to be experiencing being overpaid. And so I like using that word. I know some of you had a problem with that before, but that's kind of my go-to. Like, you know, would you like to leverage your time? Right? Leveraging time. They won't know what you're talking about. They don't need to know. They come to the meeting to find out. Okay. You know, but would you like to leverage your time so that you can get overpaid? Otherwise, you can keep trading your time for money, you know, an even trade. You can do an even trade for it, or you can leverage it and get overpaid. It's your choice. Even Stevens or get overpaid. What do you want for yourself? And if you give people, you know, ideas like that, well, tell me more. What do you mean by that? Right?
Can you put those two statements in the Telegram posting or whatever, like the two things you just shared as far as your go-tos?
Yeah, happy to. Yeah, I can do that.
Awesome. Really
Yeah.
good stuff.
You know, that's just a way to start the conversation, you know, and then from there, the real trick isn't about what you say, it's about how much you don't say. Okay. I think you're gonna find out that you're gonna come out
Definitely, I agree.
the bigger
Most people say too much.
Yeah, right. You'll be the bigger winner by saying the least amount to get them to show up. Right? Less
The
is
one
more.
that says the least is the winner.
Yep. And so you just have to posture yourself like, hey, you got the golden goose by the tail, and I'm only going to tell you one time I got it by the tail. We're having dinner at 8. Okay. So there you go. All right, guys. There you go. So there are a couple chats here. Let me just open it up. All right, good. Good positive comments there. And let me just end on one more final note. Okay. I'm going to lower your hand, David. I'm going to end on a final note. I think the world, and that includes you. I think the whole world deserves a lot more compliments. Okay. I think each of you, I think each of you should be complimented. You know, someone should be pointing out your better qualities. Someone should be saying something nice about you. And you know what? Maybe you can be the one that kicks off the whole idea that that's how it should be. So my challenge to each of you today is get busy complimenting other people. Try to look for the good in others and point it out to them. Can you guys do that for me today? Will you guys do that? Kick it off?
Yes, I think that's also
Yeah.
a good go-to as well, is to say, hey, how would you like to be complimented more in a community of like-minded people?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be that rote. You know, you can be more from authentic and from the heart, right? So, but although I will say I had a couple of good ones back when I was, you know, looking for the ladies. I had a go-to. I was like, I'd go up to them, I go, hey, I'd point at the color they're wearing. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely your color. They loved it. They ate it up.
Wow.
So for those that might still be single, anyway, try it out. It was a winner every time. Okay, compliment each other. It's a good thing. Have fun. Let's enjoy life. Okay. Why not? Okay. So our lives are here to enjoy. We don't have to choose misery. We can choose happiness instead. It can be a choice, right? We just have to see things from a different point of view if there's any challenges there, right? Just change the point of view and you can see what I'm talking about. Everything can get better just by shifting, just the mindset, just change a little bit and you'll see that everything does get better. And then from there, you can build on that. See, we're on the ground of better, on the better ground, you can build. On the sour ground, it's kind of tough, but on the better ground, it's much easier to build. Just shift over to the positivity, shift over to the seeing things with the rose-colored glasses. Try it out, and you'll find that you'll be more likable. People will want to listen to you. They will they'll lend you more credibility. Okay. And that's what we all need, right? We want to be heard. So just to keep ourselves in the positive zone. That's what people want to hear. All right. All right. We'll say bye for now. We can all unmute and you can each and every one of you say it in your own different way. Bye. See you later, or in your own language. Hasta
Adios.
luego. Adios.
Bye.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.